Hello, Brick Sculptors! Welcome to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today we have another exciting new episode of our Brick Sculpt Tree Sculptor series, and this one should be a lot of fun. If you watch my videos regularly, I just did an official Lego build, and I don't do that often, and it was this one here, the two lovebirds. And as you probably know by now, I absolutely love Lego trees, so this was very inspirational for me, and I couldn't help but want to pick up some techniques from these branch pieces. So I said, well, I haven't done a tree sculptor series in a while. Let's take some of that knowledge and pass it forward into a new Brick Sculpt Tree Sculptor series build, and that's what we're going to do today. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and build a tree. Here is a base. You can use any base. This is just what I like to use to display them. We're going to start with the trunk. This is going to be a typical Brick Sculpt trunk I use. We're going to start with that inkwell nipple piece there in reddish brown. We're going to then attach some Technic axle holders here. I've actually got 3 of them. You can make the trunk longer or shorter to your liking, but this is going to be 3 high before we start to get into some branch work here. That will be the base of our tree. The next piece I'm going to grab is one of these 4-bar pieces with the axle connection in the middle. I use these a lot for trees. It's a fantastic piece. I highly recommend getting these if you don't have them. We're going to put a 3-long bar in there. I'm sorry, a 3-long axle in there so that it sticks up on the top and connects on the bottom. And then we're going to put another axle connector on top, and that will be the basis of our tree trunk right there. Now on these 4 bars, we're going to build outward. And the piece I've selected for that is this here. And this is, like I said, directly inspired by the Lovebirds build. And these are just going to stick off these 4 bars here. If you don't know this, bar pieces fit very nicely into axle holes. Gives the right amount of friction. You can still move it and twist it, which you can't if you put an axle in there, but it does hold it nice and tight. Now it looks a little blocky at this point, but don't worry, it will get better and you're not going to see a lot of the structure underneath. The next thing I want to do is I want to build off the sides of these because I want to add a few more connection points. So I'm actually going to use some 1x1 round. Preferably these would be reddish brown, but I was out of them and I wanted to make this video. So I'm using dark green, but don't worry, you'll hardly see them and I can always swap them out later if I want. I'm going to take 4 of these. It doesn't matter which side I put them on, as long as I put them all on the same side so that they don't interfere with each other. I'm just going to stick those on the side of these Technic elbow pieces. And as always with my Brick Sculpt Tree Sculptor series builds, all the parts are listed in the description. So you can follow along if you have these parts or go buy these parts and you can build this tree. All right, and then we're going to give these just a little bit of a twist so they don't interact or don't interfere with each other too much. You may need to adjust this again. Actually, you will definitely need to adjust this again as you put branches on it because it's going to get a little clustered and a little tight, but trust me, it turns out really nice. Okay, the next piece we're going to use are these bar with clip pieces. This guy here. I have 9 of them here. The first 4 are going to go on the 1x1 rounds with open studs sticking off the sides of each branch. We're going to kind of angle them like that. We may need to adjust that in the future, but that's how we're going to start with them. The next 4 are just going to go right in the top of each of the branches. And this is going to give us lots of connection points that we can start to build off of and make a nice full tree. So there's our connections on top. There's our connections on the sides and our final one right in the middle. And there we go, ready to start building out here. All right, now we got to make some greenery. Let's go ahead and set that aside. And we're going to make some branches to go off of these. Well, the basis for this is going to be this small limb piece. We're going to take 2 of them. We're going to cross them. And I did steal this directly from the Lovebirds. This is how a lot of the branches on the Lovebird build are. And I liked them, and they filled out nicely, so I used the same thing. That's what I love about Lego sets. I know I don't build a lot of Lego sets, but you can get great inspiration, great techniques, and learn things, and then take it and make your own with it and do your own thing, which is always fun. So we're going to cross those just like that. I am going to take a carrot topper in reddish brown and stick that right through the middle here, connecting it together and allowing me to connect to the piece I'm going to use to connect this to the tree. So that connects them very nice and strong there, and it sticks through the bottom. Next, we need some leaves. So here I have some leaves. I've already pre-installed flowers on them. You can use whatever color you want. I'll show you another color example at the end here. But these are bright green with regular green flowers. I like the contrast there, having them look a little bit different. And then instead of just one monotonous color. I do have one here without a flower on it. You can make the decision there if you want to flower that one or not. But that one there is going to be flowerless on my build, and it's going to sit right in the middle of those two branches. And then I'm going to take two of these, and I'm going to put them on the outside points of these branches, just like there. And then we're going to start to build up. Now to build up, we're going to use some flower stems. You can do this in reddish brown, or you can do it in green. This tree I wanted to be very green, so I used green ones. The next example I'm going to show you, I use reddish brown ones. We're going to stick these on this first hole right here. It may be easier to put the flower pieces on first, but having that flower connected to the leaf will allow you to stick those stems through and attach them. And this is going to give the tree limb some height, which is nice. One thing I see a lot with homemade tree builds, mine included, the branches tend to get very flat. You know, Lego likes to build outward, but giving it that height and that texture is definitely trickier. So we're just going to put those on all 6 of those stems, sticking up from that branch, and it makes for a very nice full branch there. Like I said, you can put a flower on that one if you want, but it gets kind of covered just like that. All right, so that is the basis of what goes on the tree, and we're going to repeat that and make 8 of them. And I'll spare you watching me build 8 of these. So there we go. We have 8 of them right there, and we're going to start to put these on our tree build. So I'm going to start with the lower ones here. The connection piece we're going to need is this bar holder here with the bar connection on that side, bar holder on this side. We're going to stick these on all of these connection points. But I'm going to start with the 4 lower ones. And you'll be able to angle these, twist them. You have a lot of modulation to this build, so it's really adaptable. And it's going to need to be because this stuff is going to intersect a little bit. And these are all the same, but we're going to take the first 4 and we're going to make this lower layer here. It may be easier to put these bar connectors on here first and then clip them in. That's what I'll do with the next layer. And we're just going to put 4 of those around the outside here. The first layer is going to stick out a little bit further, but it's going to be a little bit lower. I really love the way this tree turned out because it's a little bit larger tree, kind of a mid-sized tree, not tiny. A lot of the Tree Sculptor series trees are quite small, but it has a lot of volume and a great shape when we're done. A lot of the trees come out kind of flat or pointy. This one's got a nice round shape. All right, so the first 4 are on, and that's our first layer. It's going to be a little patchy until we get the upper layer on. And so next we can do our upper layer. I'm going to put these connectors right on the branches here. Hopefully this sticks on a little easier that way and I don't break it. Go nice and slow here. This stuff is kind of fragile. And again, we can twist this. We can angle it however we need. You might even want to twist the branch a little bit and have it kind of stick down in between. Or you can twist the lower one, have it stick up in the middle. You can give these little twists. So whatever you need to do to make it look how you want it. As always, these Tree Sculptor series videos, they're there to show you how to build a tree, of course, but feel free to make this your own. You know, you could take this design, adapt it, and maybe do it, you know, even better than what I show you. So I'm trying to give you the ideas here, the concepts, and then take them and run with them. You know, do whatever you want with this. Use it for good or evil. But, you know, the whole point of this is to learn different techniques, different concepts, not necessarily just to copy and paste what I make. Of course, you are welcome to do that. But, you know, try and take these techniques and do something unique with them. And again, it is going to get a little crowded here, but it does look super nice and full, which I love that. It's got just great shape to it. There we go. See that coming together real nicely there. I absolutely love the realism of the shape of this tree. All right, and then we just need to get our center done. We have that one clip down in the middle, which will bring everything together here at the end, hopefully. And let's show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to start with one more bar holder, and I have a 4-long reddish brown bar here. The next layer is actually going to use one of these large leaf pieces or limb pieces. We're going to put that on the bar right through the middle, and then I'm going to take 3 more of these leaf clusters on flower stems, and I'm just going to put them on the corners. So one in that corner, one on this corner, and one on this color. Now, if you do different colors, I know this piece isn't available in every color. My next build, I'm going to show you a different recolor. This piece is not available in that color, so I have a workaround, and I'll share that with you here in the when I show you the next one. On top of this, I'm going to build another one of these. This is identical to what I put around the entire tree. So I actually build 9 of these, and that just slips right over the top. I did put a flower piece covering the end of this just to make it look a little cleaner there. And we're just going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to kind of put it over to the single side. So those will stick out, and then this will kind of go out over that single side until it hits the flower, and there's a nice full center for our tree. We're going to very carefully install this. We may have to kind of tease some of these branches out from the center to make room. There we go. And look at that tree. I absolutely love the shape of this. The realism, just a fantastic looking mid-sized tree. All right, so that's our tree. As I mentioned, full parts list down in the description if you want to try this for yourself. Let me show you another variation. Now, I've been working on my spring challenge build. In fact, I actually finished it last night, and I needed a nice looking tree for it. So I did a recolor on this. This one I'm about to show you will be in my spring challenge build, which is pretty cool. And it looks like this. So different colors here. I kind of wanted to go for the colors in the Lovebird build. The problem was I didn't have a lot of these in sand green, at least that aren't packed up for my show, and I didn't have a lot of these in yellowish, greenish yellow, light green yellow, whatever the heck that color is called. So I went with lime green, and I actually like how it turned out because it looks like a nice blooming tree, lots of flowers. All the flowers in there are white, not green, and then lime green, and it's hard to see underneath, but I didn't do the sand green. I actually did olive green. Never mind those gray pieces. I ran out of brown ones, but you won't even see them. They're so deep in the tree. So olive green, I did reddish brown flower stems as opposed to green. And I think that tree just looks excellent. Now, one thing, when you use olive green branches as opposed to the green branches, they do not make the large piece in olive green. So I had to adapt it. This is the top, minus all the leaves, of the green one. So I have 1 layer of the large limb, 2 small ones, and then 5 flower stems. On this one, all I did was put 3 small ones underneath. I actually did 1 less flower stem, but you could definitely add 1 there. It just got a little close to these, so I just did 4 there. But of course, trees aren't perfect. They've got all different weird shapes everywhere. Limbs break off. You get spotty areas. So that's the design I did on this one here. And it's cool, these darker colors. You don't even really see them when you get that lime green on there, but they are in there. When I first did it, I built it with green limbs instead of olive green, and it just popped through too much. So this is a lot more subtle. It's a lot darker. You really don't see it near as much as you would if I made these in regular green. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you found this useful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and do more just like this in the future. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.